Madre John Madden Juanito in the doorway of my tiny house in Acamal, Mexico. This is Spot, now a member of my team here. And I've got two more dogs in here, Negro over there, and way back there on that bedspread is Yeller. These are the three members of my team. And I've got 4 minutes to tell a story that I want to tell. I've been doing a lot of stories here about what's right and what's wrong, what are good things and what are bad things. I think clarifying to that conversation is to ask what's the right thing, not fussing about whether it's good or bad or right or wrong. What's the right thing to do? And one way I've been influenced that was a guy named Harvey Jackins, who was the inventor of reevaluation counseling, peer co-counseling. And when I was trained to be a professional psychotherapist, I was at the same time being trained in reevaluation counseling, peer counseling, and that's always influenced me since. I think it's bad news if the therapist thinks they're a therapist and that the other person is a client. That's not useful for either of you. It has to be, you have to understand that healing happens in peer relationships. Now, Harvey would come to Rochester, New York, where I was in my clinical psych grad program at the University of Rochester, and would lead workshops in peer counseling in the community. And my wife and I, at the time, got very involved in that and practiced it for something like 25 years. Not together, we weren't together for all that time, but I continued. But at one of Harvey's workshops, it was all about validation, and they would give you a validation to say out loud to stretch you. And Harvey gave me one at a big workshop in front of maybe 60, 80 people. I was working one-on-one with him in front of the group, and he says, try this one on. If I die, I die, but I will never again not do the right thing. Now, that was like 50 years ago, but it's living, it's very much alive in me now. So if you're lucky enough to have people in your life who care enough about you to really affirm you, to see, to have a big vision for who you can be, and also to jump in your shit and point out where you're not doing it right, because Harvey would do that with me too. But thank God Harvey Jackins for saying, if I die, I die. Dying, the fear of death is not an excuse for not doing the right thing. And in the last few years, I've thrown my first punch ever because it was the right thing to protect my black friend. I've ratted on a rogue jailer in the city of Orizaba, Mexico. You tangle with the police force in a town where you've never been and have no friends and barely know the language. It was the right thing to do because he had beaten up the kid in the jail next to me, in the cell next to me. It was the right thing to do. I've squared off mano a mano against a killer dog who was intent on killing me. Yeah, he was intent on killing me. It was very scary. And I killed him with a little fish filleting knife. It was the right thing to do. Now, I adore dogs. Now, the idea of killing, taking the life, and I consider myself a bodhisattva. I will not rest until all living beings are at peace. Well, I guess he was at peace after I killed him, because being a murderous dog who wanted to kill our dogs, that wasn't good for him. So I stopped him. Don't ask, is it good or bad, right or wrong? Ask, is it the right thing? And then do the right thing. Regardless, just do it.